meeting to order. Teresa, could we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner DeFilippo,
I am here.
Commissioner Hertzler,
Here.
Commissioner Eichelberger, Deputy Controller DeGraza.
Here.
Thank you, Teresa. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, can we have approval of salary board actions?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of meeting minutes of March 23rd and March 29th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on those meeting minutes? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have, is there any other business to be brought from the salary board? Hearing none, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
For adjournment. Please rise for the pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. Call the Commissioners' meeting to order. Have a roll call. Teresa?
Commissioner DeFilippo,
Present.
Commissioner Hertzler,
Here.
and Commissioner Eichelberger.
Thank you, Teresa. Is there any public comment?
Mr. Commissioner, just wanted to share a bit of public comment session. Didn't want to take part of your agenda, but just wanted to share some good economic news of a program that we did that affects the county budgetary process. If I may, I'll be succinct.
How long will this take?
45 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
This time last year, we had processed, April 2016 processed a little more than 1,950 cases. This year, we processed over almost 4,500 cases. The debt difference is about 2,500 cases, and the reason is we started taking state tax liens for both in and out of the state. Those tax liens are added 2,128 cases to what we've collected. Just like a company, if we sell widgets, it means we sold 2,128 more this year. What that means to the county, and I shared some of these numbers with Commissioner Hertzler, what we gave to the county for revenue in the month of February was $51,564. What we gave in March was $91,784. So it's trending about adding about $40,000 to the general fund every month. This is all done with an investment of $7,000 to our existing system, and we're very excited about that. And we processed these extra cases without any extra personnel, without any extra man hours, without any overtime. With our new system, it took about less than 5 minutes to process all these cases.
Dave, when did this start?
First filings were in February. And in March, we have 622, and in April so far, we only have 62 in the first week. So we don't see this as just an anomaly, we see this as a reoccurring thing.
And is this increase based on, say, out-of-area filing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They can be filed anywhere. They were sitting in Allegheny County, but since we have this electronic system, and because we're so close, they chose us as a preferred vendor to do this.
That's good news.
Thank you, sir.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other public comment? All right, hearing none. We have approval of minutes of March 23rd and March 29th. Is there a motion for approval? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on those minutes? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of public safety review team minutes of February 22nd and March 22nd of this year. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of personnel transactions. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have a proclamation. We have a couple of them. National Library Week and Telecommunicator Week. Now, we're going to take a couple of minutes. Carol, would you like to come up? See you. Okay, read this proclamation. It is in recognition of National Library Week, which is April 9th through the 15th of this year. Whereas Cumberland County libraries are not just about what we have for people, but what we do for and with people. And whereas our public libraries have long served as trusted and treasured institutions, and library workers and librarians fuel efforts to enhance and improve the quality of life for citizens of Cumberland County. And whereas librarians and organizers and information experts and their libraries are an important educational resource for county citizens, helping to foster an ability to read and love for books, which leads to a better trained and skilled workforce and a growing economy. And whereas librarians continue to fulfill their role in leveling the playing field for all who seek information and technology access, especially as our society is at a critical junction regarding the changing information landscape and for the skills needed to thrive in our digital world. And whereas libraries and librarians are looking beyond their traditional roles and providing more opportunities for community engagement and delivering new services that connect closely with the needs of our citizens. And whereas libraries and librarians open a world of possibilities through the power of reading, digital inclusion, lifelong education, intergenerational programming, diversification of funding, and a continued focus on the future. And whereas our libraries support democracy and affect social change through their commitment to provide equitable access to information for all library users, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, and socio-economic status. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaims the week of April 9 through 15 as National Library Week. We encourage all residents to visit their local library in person or online this week and throughout the year to take advantage of the wonderful programs and services available at our Cumberland County libraries. Presented this 10th day of April by the Cumberland County Commissioners. Carolyn, would like you to have this. Have anything you'd like to say?
Sure. This week, Cumberland County Library System joins libraries across Pennsylvania and across the nation to celebrate the many ways that libraries transform communities through the invaluable services that they offer. I'd like to thank the Board of Commissioners and the citizens of Cumberland County for their continued support of public libraries in Cumberland County. Thank you.
Actually,
Well, the only thing we might want to do is also congratulate Carolyn on
Yes.
her appointment as our new Cumberland County Library System Director. So looking forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you. Looking forward to it as well.
Carolyn,
Oh,
I've seen
thank
it.
you.
Chris has got to get a picture.
We show off the proclamation? Yes, absolutely.
That's good.
There you go.
All right, everybody do this smile. And let me just take one more. Smile. Perfect.
Thank you. All right, we have one more. Mr. Shively, or whomever.
Good job.
Hey, John.
Good, how are you?
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you doing?
All right. We also have another proclamation. This is also Telecommunicator Week. Okay. Whereas each year thousands of Cumberland County residents and visitors dial 911 for help in emergencies ranging from structure fires and automobile accidents to heart attacks. And whereas the men and women answering these calls for help are gathering essential information to dispatching an appropriate response, and are trained to provide pre-arrival instructions that can often make the difference between life and death. And whereas telecommunicators working with police, fire, medical, and government personnel are knowledgeable and highly trained individuals working 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And whereas Cumberland County telecommunicators work diligently to achieve and maintain certifications, enabling them to provide life-saving emergency medical pre-arrival instructions to callers, as well as remain efficient on continuously evolving technology introduced to the process. And whereas each year the nation sets aside this week to celebrate the telecommunicators' work and to provide reliable and effective public safety answering service points through the 911 system. And whereas, in addition, Cumberland County's public safety telecommunicators serve our citizens daily in countless ways, working as unseen first responders who are invaluable in emergency situations. And each of these dedicated men and women deserve our heartfelt appreciation. We place our trust in these individuals, not just this week, but every day of the year. This week is the time to show appreciation and to recognize that our health, safety, and well-being are often dependent on the commitment and steadfast devotion of public safety telecommunicators. Now, therefore, the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners commends the Department of Public Safety dispatchers for their efforts and hereby proclaims the week of April 9th, 15 as Telecommunicator Week in Cumberland County, presented this 10th day of April from the Cumberland County Commissioners. Congratulations, guys. Do you have anything to say?
Just that we echo the proclamation that we appreciate everything they do day in and day out, and this continued support from your office as well.
Thank you. Anything
I
else?
was told to be quiet when
Jerry, do you have anything to say? No.
Move over to the right, just a little bit. Right? Really smile. And one more. Great, thank you.
Thanks. Next we have is discussion and approval of a letter of support for the East Pennsboro Township grant application to DCNR for a new playground in Adams Ricky Park. Grant amount is for $195,000.
Just, before we make a motion to approve, I just want to mention that, just made a couple of little grammatical changes to the letter, so, but anyway, now we have, that's been sent to both the Department of,
We have
two departments? Okay, so we made the changes to both things. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the letter of support of the East Pennsboro Township grant application.
Motions or a second? Any further questions or comments or discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of resolution 2017-12, budget adjustments. Is there a motion for approval? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of draft resolution 2017-13, support the Citizens Commission for Legislative and Congressional Redistricting. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions on the motion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I don't want to belabor this because we did discuss it at length on Thursday, but I think that Commissioner Eichelberger said it best at our workshop, that this is about fucking the system, and that it's a system that needs to be bucked. What we're really talking about here is ridding ourselves of a system that is given Pennsylvania, even as we stand as the birthplace of America, the dubious distinction of being one of the most, if not the most gerrymandered state in the nation. And this is about, really is about the future of our democracy, our representative democracy. It's about giving voters choices in elections. It's about ending the gridlock in both Harrisburg and Washington, D.C. And it's also about restoring power to the people where it actually belongs. When it comes to legislative and congressional redistricting, it's long past time that Cumberland County is the fastest growing county in the state, with a population approaching 250,000 citizens, is no longer treated as an afterthought, sliced and diced to suit the partisan and political whims of certain politicians under the dome over in Harrisburg, and in violation of the constitutional requirement that no county or municipality be carved up, quote, unless absolutely necessary. It's time for our legislators, instead of worrying about the next election, to stand up for what's right, stand up for a fair and impartial system of legislative and congressional redistricting, and one that is fully transparent and accountable and respects county and municipal boundaries and communities of interest. It's time for our General Assembly, all 253 of them, to remove themselves from picking their voters and instead turn the task over to an independent citizens commission, so that once again the voters are given the full discretion of picking their elected representatives instead of the other way around. And I just want to say I'm proud of the fact that this board, in a bipartisan and nonpartisan fashion, is united and unanimous in taking a stand on this important issue and actually playing a leadership role in this statewide discussion. I want to thank both of my colleagues for their support on this important reform.
Jim, it appears to that more counties are jumping on board behind this.
Yeah, I was approached at the recent conference of County Commissioners Association by a number of county commissioners, both parties, wanting to know whether or not we were going to continue to lead this effort. And that's part of what this resolution is about, because it does ask the County Commissioners Association to also consider it as another resolution for support later this year. In addition to that, Lehigh County, say invitation is the best form of flattery. Lehigh County copied the text of the resolution that we passed last year and adopted a like resolution. And I know that there's some other counties out there that are considering taking a stand as well. And so hopefully, we can bring this to fruition. It's sometimes hard to change the status quo. But that's really what this is all about.
Any other comment on the motion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Next on the agenda is approval of credit application G2 Automated Technology Limited Liability Corporation. Is there a motion?
So,
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have approval of subordination request, county loan to Jeffrey Bowder for acquisition of property located at 2 West Big Spring Avenue, Newville. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of the sub-grant award from Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for Rights and Services Act Victims of Juvenile Offenders Grant. Total grant amount is $395,000. $596 in terms of the grant by January 1 of this year through December 31st, 2018. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of contracts and grants, 15 section 1, item A, 15 section 2, items A through F. Is there a motion for approval? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval to award the project to Century Link to provide internet connectivity to Cumberland County Courthouse in the amount of $25,656. Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have 4 capital project requests. The first one is from Aging Department, purchase of a new vehicle to replace the 2001 Subaru. Total project cost $35,000. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, the nursing home replacement of 10 kiosks. Total project cost $18,949.60. Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, from facilities, purchase and installation of automatic external defibrillators in county buildings. Total project cost $21,000. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And last, from INTO, purchase of 65 computers to be purchased as part of the spring computer lifecycle process. Total project cost $79,531. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, item 18 is the approval recommendation for appointments of Robert Kaufman, Damon Brent, and Gregory Lebro to the Cumberland County Local Emergency Planning Committee for a 5-year term commencing April 10 of this year and expiring December 31st, 2021. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have discussion and approval of CNRC letter for FSES plan of correction.
Yes, Commissioners.
John?
The reports were reviewed and discussed by QDOT and COPEL, and request approval to send the plan of action correction letter to Life Safety, Mr. Slagle, and we'd like to send that this week because the deadline is Friday.
Further discussion?
No, I think now we just received a copy of the letter in your email, I believe, because I don't have that in front of me.
The plan of action, that's the
Yeah.
correction letter.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, maybe it is here. Well, oh, here it is, yes, okay, I apologize. Yeah, I'm gonna support the motion to approve the letter. Again, I feel as though this, you know, we've been asked to act in a very short fashion here on all this. And, you know, I think it is important that we review with our federal representatives some of what we're being required to do here. And as to whether or not, the question I have is whether or not we're being treated fairly, you know, whether this is being applied, you know, statewide and to both private and county-owned or publicly owned facilities on an equal basis. But, you know, I have no problem moving forward with our response. Again, I remain concerned over the fact that, you know, we received very little notice about any of this and had to jump through these hoops and hire 2 consultants and so forth. It seems as though we should have been given a little more forewarning about all this. In any event, as it is, through the hurdles, I guess, we're gonna jump through the hoops and, really have any way to fight back at this point.
Keith, this is, what we're requesting is a 5-year waiver.
Correct.
It doesn't, maybe it does it commit us to doing this, assuming something happens legislatively? Say somewhere down the road, someone comes back, you don't have to do this, or you
That's,
have to do that. You have to do A instead of B.
that's a very difficult question for me to answer, only because if there's some legislative act, I would like to think it would be retroactive to a certain date before this requirement was made known. But I don't know the answer.
So it's a 5-year waiver, this plan of correction, plan of action. Well, all right, I forget, I don't need to ask that question because it'd be not
Just like to point out the way
Yeah.
that John has structured the letter,
Mhm.
it's very much a process. And this is our plan,
Yeah.
this is our
Very
process,
good.
as compared to, and then with periodic milestones along the way in which things will be reassessed, and the life safety will be invited in to do that, so it's very conditional.
We should have a 4-year period to complete everything, a year, a little over a year, for the inspections and everything to take place, and then the approvals. So, that's what they requested, and I believe it's a conservative plan. It's not real aggressive because I try this, there'll be other approvals with this process once we get the bids and stuff. But it'll also allow us to spread the expenditures out over a period of time, so I just want this all of a sudden in 1 year or 2 years.
And I think, Commissioner Lugo raises a valid concern, but I do believe that, A, this is our way to stay in the game. And secondly, I can't imagine that if they were to do something in terms of some kind of legislation or action, they would punish people who were, well, I can't say, it's the government, so you don't ever know for sure, but it would seem grossly unfair for them to punish people who were being compliant with instructions under duress and under the threat of potential regulatory action against them. But you never say never. I think the way it is, there leaves lots of room, contingencies and things to be reassessed as we go through this 4-year.
Are there any other comments on the other discussion? Is there a motion for approval? A motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any other further comment or questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Next, we have approval of general disbursements for authorizations, item 20A through F. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Next, I'd like to report executive sessions was held on April 6th, 10:20 a.m. for personnel matters. We also want to announce acceptance of monthly reports from the clerk of court, the fund and carry recorded deeds, veteran affairs, change assessments. Is there any other business to be brought in front of the board? Hearing none, is there a motion for adjournment?